Hey guys, it's Carly back with day number 6 of my first ever 31 days of horror. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Moving right along, we have another Halloween themed film, and that is Trick or Treat from the year 2007. Of course, this is a Halloween horror anthology film. It's kind of hard to describe the plot of this because it's basically just like a Halloween movie, events taking place on a typical Halloween night in this town, strange events that is. You got like a crazy teacher, some girls, you don't know exactly what they're up to. They're going to a party, they're meeting up with guys and whatnot, and then you have some kids who are following an urban legend and trying to kind of play a prank on the weird girl and just a mean neighbor to the teacher, and just a bunch of just random stuff like that going on. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this movie before, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. I will say that right off the bat. So one thing I really enjoy about this movie is just the fact that it is very Halloween-esque. There are jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, like lit up ones with like just really creative faces, scary faces, normal faces, everything like that. They just went crazy with the jack-o'-lanterns, and you just get the vibe that this town really appreciates Halloween. Basically, like, you just see the whole movie is centered around like Halloween night, and there's kids out trick-or-treating, which I appreciate that. Unfortunately, in my town, like, we always trick-or-treated during the day, which is still fun and all, but nighttime, I feel like, is a more fun experience, and I always like to see that in the movies. And you just get the vibe that everyone in this whole town just goes all out for Halloween. Like, there's a big party going on in the middle of the town and things like that. So I really enjoyed that about it. And it's weird because this movie almost feels like, I don't want to say like a kid's movie because it's very gory and violent in some moments, but for some reason it just feels like it's got some comedy elements too. And there's just, like, with the teacher especially, like, those moments kind of feel like it would be something out of, like, I don't know, like Goosebumps or one of those kids horror shows. Can't really think of many right now, or like a special on a TV show or something like that. But it's definitely not. It's definitely got some violent stuff going on and a lot of blood and whatnot at certain moments. So it's definitely not for kids, but I feel like this would be a great movie to show like someone younger who is just starting to get into horror, because for one thing, it's set on Halloween, which kids love Halloween, and another thing is it just has that great fun vibe. I guess that's the way to describe it. It's a very fun type of movie. It's not too serious. Like I said, it's got comedy elements. I believe the guy who made Krampus made this movie first. I've never seen Krampus, but I know that's a horror comedy as well, set on a holiday. And anyway, yeah, like, I don't know, it's like this movie, I just love all the characters in it. I love, probably my favorite segment is the one with the kids, and my least favorite is the one with the like 20-something-year-old girls going to the party. But even that, I still enjoy. Actually, scratch that. My least favorite is the ending part. I feel like it just kind of gets not really boring, just I'm not too interested in the final segment of this film, but I mean, I'm sure a lot of other people appreciate it. And really the only problem I have with this movie is Sam, the little character he looks like a little trick-or-treater. He's wearing like a sack over his head. He's walking around the entire movie. He kind of connects the movie. He's supposed to be, it's this guy. He's supposed to be like the spirit of Halloween and whatnot. I don't like, at the ending, you actually do see his actual real face. I feel like they could have done without it. The face is kind of creepy, but it just kind of made it a little too silly for me. And I think he looks cute with the sack on his head, and also creepy at the same time because you don't know what's under that, and then they go and reveal it, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. But other than that, like, I don't really have too many complaints with this film. I thought this one would be easy to talk about, but for some reason it isn't, and I think it's because it's like an anthology. with it being an anthology, though, I feel like the stories do go together really well. It's probably the best wraparound type thing. Not really a wraparound, they actually just all connect, like where some anthologies, it's just like, oh, kind of like with Late Fee that I reviewed, it's like, oh, two characters sit down and watch 3 movies, and that's the wraparound, is those characters sitting there watching these movies. That's how it's all connected. But this movie is actually just a typical Halloween night where all these horrific events just happen to be taking place all together, and the people all kind of connect in a way. Like, some of them do, some of them don't, but like some of them know each other, meet up with each other in the middle of the movie, and I really appreciate that creativity that the person who made this film actually tried to connect it all together and did a very good job of it. This is not a movie that I think would need a sequel, really. I know there's been talks of a sequel, but I feel like it's great as it is, and I feel like a sequel might kind of not at all live up to the hype of this one. Kind of like with the VHS movies, like they kind of, you know, with part 3 was horrible. The other 2 weren't too bad, but like once you get to part 3, you could tell they just ran out of ideas and didn't really try too much, where this movie just has like a lot of heart to it. You could tell the person who made it really enjoys Halloween, and, you know, like I said, I love all the characters. I think the urban legend with the school bus is really creepy, and I just love how the movie ends. It gives me like chills. And yeah, I mean, that's about it with this one. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me to talk about it, so sorry if this review's not too good. All I keep saying is like how good it is of a movie, and like I said, you should definitely check it out if you have not. This is probably more Halloween-y of a movie than actual Halloween is, because Halloween is like a slasher film, where this is actually just looks like it looks like this could happen in your actual town. I mean, it's kind of unrealistic because of all the events that are taking place. And then one story, I mean, 2 stories really are kind of completely unrealistic. But at the same time, like, you get the feeling that, like, this is something that could go down on Halloween night. And I really just like that about that aspect to it. So anyway, I give this one a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you guys for joining me for day number 6. See you guys in day number 7.